right. Welcome back, guys. If you're just joining us, this is Breakfast Daily. And of course, it's Tuesday, and every Tuesday we get to talk about our health. And today we are going to be diving right into the foundation of life, which is breastfeeding. And as you can see, I have my baby with me. And August is actually Breastfeeding Awareness Month, and today we are going to be creating more awareness and empowering and supporting mothers who are actually breastfeeding now, and also letting everyone know the importance of breastfeeding. I know sometimes it just sounds like just, feeding a baby, but this is actually a time for mother and child to connect. So, like I'm connecting with my baby. But in the studio with me is Ines Agbenu, who's the maternity unit manager at the Bank Hospital, and Sheila Decker, who is the senior registered midwife at the Bank Hospital. You are welcome.
Thank you.
Am I doing a good job, ladies?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right, so ladies, let's get straight into it. Can you explain the importance of Breastfeeding Awareness Month?
Okay. So it is very important to talk about breastfeeding. Like you said, sometimes we tend to see it like it's something normal. You give birth to a baby and then you get to feed the baby. But it is not always as straightforward as it may seem from the outside. Women sometimes struggle and go through a lot of emotions just trying to adjust to the new life of a new baby and feeding the baby. It comes with so many things, so it's always important to talk about it, create awareness, and then support women or provide support systems that are available for women to tap from so that they can easily navigate this period.
Right. So you talked about the different emotions that come along with, having a new baby. So what are some of the things that women deal with, or the difficulties that women deal with when it comes to breastfeeding?
So mostly when it comes to breastfeeding, they complain about their nipples being big or having very flat nipples. But it's all about...
Having flat nipples?
Yes,
wow.
please. So it's all about how to position the babies. Then we have breast shield that they can also use on their nipples, that the nipple can go into the baby's mouth. They're also complaining about not having enough breast milk. But the breast milk starts production immediately. There is a skin-to-skin contact right from the time that the baby comes out. There are hormones that are being released, and these hormones helps in the production of the breast milk. As you attach the baby to breast, at least 1.5 or 2 hours to breast feeding the baby, all these times the breast milk naturally produced by itself. Eating well, drinking enough water, attaching the baby well, then you get your breast milk production being very good.
Yeah, so you talked about sore nipples, but my experience was very, like I had very sore breast, because like my boobs before pregnancy was something you can describe like a size of a lemon, very small. The day the baby just appeared, the thing was like popo. I say, is this how it happens? If you touch it like this, it's very painful. So in that kind of situation, how do you advise the mothers on how to feel? Because it's really, 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 really painful. Yeah.
Okay, so that's one of the things that happens when we don't attach babies to breast early after delivery. So in situations like cesarean section birth, where mother and baby are separated for some time, then the breast milk starts producing. Mother doesn't start breastfeeding early. The milk collects in the breast over time, and then you get the breast becoming hard and painful. The woman experiences fever, body pains, and it's very, very uncomfortable for the woman. So what we advocate for currently is that within 30 minutes of birth, we attach babies to breast.
So even if it's a cesarean?
Even if it's cesarean, at the Bank Hospital, sometimes we even put baby skin to skin right after birth, even if it's a cesarean. So we're able to do all these things, and then baby attaches to the breast as soon as possible to avoid all these problems of the breast milk getting into the
stored,
breast and storing in there and giving
causing
the
pain.
woman all these issues. Once the baby is able to latch on and empty the breast, then you are able to avoid such problems. Sometimes in cases where it becomes very difficult, where we cannot get baby to breast as soon as possible, then we encourage the mother to express, and we provide this supportive environment where we are able to sometimes massage the breast with warm towels,
Yeah.
massage with shea butter, and then allow the milk to flow out.
All right. Okay.
To
So,
release that discomfort.
right. So, Sheila, let me come to you. Now, a lot of people have spoken about, exclusive breastfeeding. Now, let us break the myths right here because some people say it's not important. Like I, for example, because my mom and my dad didn't know that, And when I came back to the house and said, oh, no, I'm breastfeeding my child 6 months without water, my dad was like, is it Samson? What are you training? Stop laughing. He was like, is this Samson in the Bible you're trying to train? So tell us about breastfeeding exclusively and what it means, the benefits to, yeah.
So when you start breastfeeding exclusively, one, to you, the mother, when the oxytocin, that's a hormone in your body, is being produced, it helps in the contraction of the uterus. It also helps you so that you wouldn't bleed too much. That's what we call the PPH.
Right.
So it regulates those things. But to the baby, it helps in the coordinative, the intelligence of the baby.
Right.
It also helps the baby's immunity so that the baby wouldn't get sick all the time, then you'll be going to the hospital. It also helps the nation, productivity. When you are in a nation that you have healthy people who are very intelligent, productivity is very high. The country doesn't use much money to get drugs to take care of the people in the community.
Yeah.
So exclusive breastfeeding to the baby is very important, helps the baby to grow well, the baby to strive well, the baby's intelligence, and you to the mother, your pregnancy state, your body, it helps you to reshape yourself into your normal.
Yeah, so what are some of the misconceptions of breastfeeding?
So sometimes people say the cholesterol, the yellow part is not good, which that one is the very important for the baby. That is a very nutritious aspect in the breast milk. Before the mature milk comes, the first 3 days, we have the cholesterol flowing.
Yeah.
So that's what the baby needs to get the baby's antibodies as the baby loses the one he or she got from the mother.
Yeah. So now, how can employers or workplaces actually, be more supportive when it comes to breastfeeding moms?
So what they can do is, so normally what we teach the mom is when your breast becomes full and you are producing enough during your maternity leave days, you express so that whoever is going to take care of your child has enough milk.
Right.
But if they have places available for the moms to keep, like nurseries, so that the mom can go in every 15 or 30 minutes to go and see to the baby and breastfeed the baby. Actually, you need 2 hours each time to breastfeed your baby. But if you have milk available at home, whoever is with your baby at home can do the breast.
All right. So, Ines, let's talk about the milk that you have at home, the milk that you actually express before going out. I love expressing milk. It makes me happy. But the baby does not like, he didn't like feeding from the, bottle. So in that case, okay, first of all, how healthy is it to, express your milk and maybe put in the fridge? Okay. Or even how can you even preserve it to still be in the same form as, coming out from your body?
Okay. All right. So when it comes to pumping or expressing breast milk and storage, it's not a bad thing. These days we have almost all our women being working class women who are in the corporate space and do not really have time. And currently, as much as we are advocating for 6 months maternity leave, that is still work in progress. So we currently have 3 months and we want mothers to breastfeed exclusively for 6 months.
Yeah.
So that part of being able to express the milk, store it, and then somebody else can give that milk to the baby when you are not there is very important. But once the milk is moving from the body or the body of the woman, the breast, into another container, then we need to be very careful so we don't contaminate the milk. So we need to practice a lot of hand hygiene, and then we need to really keep the utensils that we use for storage and for feeding the baby very clean. So we have sterilizers on the market. Sometimes some people use boiling water to sterilize this equipment so that we don't transfer infections to the baby.
Right.
When it comes to storage, we can store breast milk at room temperature for about 2 to 4 hours. But that is the maximum you can go. And after feeding the baby, whatever is left, you need to discard it.
Right.
If you keep breast milk in a refrigerator, you cannot keep it in just the refrigerator for more than a day. And once you feed the baby, whatever is left, you don't use it again.
Yeah.
You discard. Once you warm breast milk, you don't refreeze it back to another state. That's going to be very unhealthy for baby. In freezers, breast milk can be stored up to 6 months if really the temperature is right. And when it comes to reheating, you don't want to use microwaves or put the milk in boiling water. You want to just run it under warm water to rewarm it for baby to be able to take. So pumping and storing breast milk is very important. Sometimes it even helps with partner support. So when the breast milk is available, your partner can also feed the baby, promotes bonding between the baby and then the father as well.
All right. All right. So if you're watching us right now and this is actually making sense to you and you want to be part of this, please send in your messages or your questions via the WhatsApp number on your screen, and we will get to read it here. So if you have any questions or comments, please let us know. Let us know and we'll get to read it here. And don't forget to use the hashtag Breakfast Daily on Facebook or X, which is formerly Twitter. Now, continuing. I am going to give you this little baby for you to help us demonstrate on, how you're supposed to do that. But I've had an issue of understanding. So now people who cannot express breast milk, what happens to them? In fact, is there any situation like, I don't have enough breast milk, I cannot express at all? How do we help them? Because now you've said that breastfeeding is actually very important to baby's health and to connection with mommy and baby. So now how do we help those who cannot really express or don't have enough?
Okay, so these are conversations that we have on individual basis. Healthcare is moving from one size fits all to individualized care for people. And we've seen situations where there is really nothing much you can do about it as much as you really want to support this mother to breastfeed. There are times that with appropriate nutrition, taking in a lot of water, and with the right support systems to have this woman have a good psychological state, breast milk will flow. And then we also help the woman to attach baby to breast, and with good latching and attachment, baby is also able to suckle well and stimulate the breast. But there are other women who are just unable to produce enough breast milk, maybe due to hormonal reasons, or sometimes it could be genetics. It could be just the family you come from and what is happening in there. And some people may have genuine issues with their breast that may not allow them to breastfeed. In such cases, we need to have conversations with our pediatricians, our midwives, our obstetricians, so we find the right approaches to help support this woman. But all in all, what we are saying is that with the right support systems, with the right nutrition, taking in adequate fluids, with the right attachment and latching, we are able to make some progress.
And they will still benefit from the skin-to-skin connection?
Yes.
So even if, even with they have an issue of breastfeeding, there's still a possibility to still have that connection,
that
as long
bonding
as
with the baby.
Because that's what's more important for us most of the time. All right, so let's get into it before we get into some of our questions.
Okay. So when you want to breastfeed your child, first of all, you get a comfortable seat.
Comfortable.
Very comfortable.
Comfortable.
So the mother should be very comfortable. So a seat, then you make sure your feet are really standing on the ground like my feet is doing, so that you won't end up getting swollen or hurting legs. Then you get a seat so that you can lean comfortably on. Then you place your child's head in between your hands with the palm on your child's buttocks. Then you make sure your child's tummy is touching your tummy. You are looking directly into the face of the child. Then your forehands are down the breast and your thumb is up. Then you also make sure your baby's mouth and chin is closer to your breast. So when it happens, when the baby is sleeping and you move your breast on the baby's cheek or lip with the nipple,
Yeah.
the baby opens the mouth
They just
very
automatically
widely,
lash onto it.
like my baby has opened her mouth very widely. Then you make sure enough, most of the downwards parts, that's the black thing, that's the
Yeah,
areola.
areola,
Yes, it's in the baby's mouth, and about 2/3 of the upper areola is also in the baby's mouth. We should also bear in mind that the nipple is just a passage. The milk is not in the nipple. Normally, most women put the nipple and they think they are done.
that's it.
But the storage is the areola. That's the black thing around the nipple.
Right.
So immediately the baby lunges and opens the mouth, the baby gets enough. Then you hear the gargling sound.
Yeah.
And the baby sucks, and the rhythm and the chin, you just see. But baby who is not being positioned well and not getting enough, you see the baby struggling to get the milk.
So obviously that means sometimes it's about the way the woman positions.
Positions.
So maybe she might have breast milk, but
Yes.
just that she's just putting in the nipples.
Yes. So just a little goes into the baby's mouth,
Right.
not most, because it's
Right.
not at the areola.
Right.
So there are many positions you can do. So there's a cuddle double position
All right.
where
So
my
what we
hand-
have on the screen,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
where both my hands are there
Yeah,
supporting the baby. You can just use one of your hands to support the
Yeah,
baby. Then you make sure you are supporting the breast. With those who have enough breast, to just make sure they are supporting the breast. But with those who their breasts are very small, they can just do the double size and just the baby's mouth is there. So you can do the football position where you hold the baby's head and
Just like this.
yes, and,
And the
then
baby's
your
leg is like
pillow
this. Oh,
and your
okay.
pillow is down there.
Okay.
Then
I
baby's
thought the
head.
baby's head was gonna.
No. So that's so you see,
Right.
I'm still holding on my baby's head so that the baby will be sucking.
That's the football position.
Yes, please.
I never tried any position apart from.
So you can also lie down in your bed, but mostly what you see women doing is when they lie in their bed, their hands are also supporting their head, just as the pillow is supporting, but the hand is for the baby. You
Oh,
support and
okay.
push the baby closer
Okay.
to you as
Okay.
you are in your bed. So it's just the same thing, closer like this
Right.
as you are directed, so that the pillow will support you and you turn towards the baby so that the baby's tummy and your tummy will touch.
Right.
Then you see the baby's face as
Okay.
you are in bed.
Yeah.
So that when the baby finishes sucking, the baby can naturally remove it from you. Then you place the baby quietly down.
Right.
Then you'll be sitting.
Right. So in all this, one thing that kept repeating itself is the connection.
Yeah.
Let the body touch. Look into the eyes and all that. I'm actually very jealous right now. I'm jealous because I only did one style, because it's only one style I was taught then, just like this. So I could have done football,
Yeah.
could have done lying, and all that. But now, there's one myth. Yeah, before, okay, so I have messages right now, but then, is it true that when you breastfeed with one, a lot, it affects the sizes? Because, like, you know, I was quite young, and they were like, it seems like you like your left side too much. Do the right side now. Like, you know, you will have one breast big, one breast small. Is it true?
Okay, so that's not entirely true. So naturally, every woman has one breast bigger than the other.
Right.
It's a natural thing. It's not something you can see just by looking at a person, but if you observe closely, you realize that one breast is naturally bigger than the other. What we encourage is that when you are breastfeeding, you feed with one breast and completely empty that.
Oh.
And then you move on to the other. And anytime
Completely
you want
empty.
Yes, you empty. So you give the baby, when your breast is full and heavy, you feel it. As a mother, you would feel it. And when baby has suckled and has emptied it, you feel it. It becomes lighter.
Wow.
And then you move on to the other one. And then when you want to breastfeed the next time, you want to start from where you stopped the last time before, so that you always have the baby suckling from both breasts and you don't leave one ending up engorged or with milk sitting in there and baby not getting enough. So as for the breastfeeding, it doesn't affect the sizes of the breast eventually. But
for you to know
that's a
that
natural thing.
the breast is fully emptied, at least the baby should spend 20 to 45 minutes on one breast before you move the baby to the other breast.
All right, so we have a lot of questions coming in right now. All right, so is it advisable practice to allow someone else breastfeed your child? I've been hearing some things I would consider superstition, but I would like to know a professional stand on it.
Okay, so these were things that happened back in the days when some mothers unfortunately lost their lives through childbirth, and then the children were being breastfed by other women in the community who were probably also breastfeeding at the time. Currently, because of health issues and all of that, these things are no longer common. But what other places are also trying to do is to build breast milk banks. So the women are completely screened to be sure that it is safe. And then the breast milk is expressed for those who have excesses, and they are stored to support those who cannot get enough. So that way, you know you are getting the right and healthy milk for your baby, which has been screened and certified by the healthcare provider as safe. But to just pick
happening in
anyone
Ghana
and run,
now?
yes,
Oh,
I think
wow.
now breast milk banks are coming up. I'm
Because
sure in the next few months we'll
I've
be
actually
hearing.
watched a documentary like that, but I think it was in Germany or something. I
Yes.
saw a woman who she's just paid to be expressing milk, and I'm
Yes,
like, wow.
so I know some are currently coming up. Maybe in the next couple of months they will become more popular. And
Wow.
we'll get to hear about
All
that.
right. So how
But to just pick somebody at random to breastfeed your child, that may not be too safe because you may not know what exactly you are getting.
All right. So how important is our breast milk to our babies? Because I sometimes deny my baby because I do not feel like breastfeeding. You know when the babies just want to, that thing they do.
Oh, well, I understand the sentiments. Like I said, childbirth comes with a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
The woman is adjusting. It's one thing seeing Sheila holding this baby and you're all happy and excited about it.
Until you wear the
Until you
shoes.
have your own baby and you need to put in the work.
Yeah.
So I understand where she's coming from. However, breast milk is very important, and we encourage women to breastfeed on demand.
Right.
And on demand means that anytime the baby wants it,
Yeah.
you give it to the baby.
Yeah.
And that is the only time that you're able to provide all the adequate nutrition that the baby needs to be able to grow well.
All right, so there's a very important question here. Please, I would want to know from the midwives if there are foods to avoid in breastfeeding, while breastfeeding actually.
Okay. There are no straightforward rules to what to eat and what not to eat when you're breastfeeding. What we encourage is that, you know, everything you put in your body goes into your breast milk and goes to your baby. There are times that for some people, they will say when I eat a lot of citric foods like oranges in excess or pineapples in excess and I breastfeed, my baby tends to have a runny tummy and all. So these are things that you can just test on yourself. You eat, if you eat, you observe how your baby reacts. What we rather tell people is that when it comes to medications, including herbal preparations, we should always make sure that these things are prescribed by a healthcare provider before you take them whilst you are breastfeeding. Even right from pregnancy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pre-conception, through pregnancy, after pregnancy when you are breastfeeding, everything that enters your system should be prescribed in terms of medications.
Right.
But when it comes to food,
Alcohol?
alcohol, no.
Right.
Smoking, no.
No.
Yes, these are things that can have negative impacts on the baby's life.
All right, so hello, good morning. Please, I wanted to know how I can make my baby take breast milk from the bottle. The predicament that I went through. My baby likes it straight from the source, and it makes it difficult for me to leave her at home. And this is from Eunice.
Okay, so if the baby don't want to take it from the bottle, you can use cup and spoon.
Cup and spoon?
Yes.
Ooh,
So
okay.
then you use your spoon to collect the breast milk and give it to the baby, just as you are feeding the
Right.
baby. So she can also use that alternative.
Yeah.
You can also use, you know, these, when medications, liquid medications, they come with this
Measuring
small
cups.
cups.
Yeah.
Yes, those ones are very
Flexible
small and
and
flexible
flexible.
to
Hey,
maneuver.
that's a lot
and then-
of stress. Oh, baby,
But
open your
nowadays,
mouth.
But
too,
it really
You get the
helps.
spoon feeding bottle type. That one
Right,
too, you
yeah.
can just place it there.
So what
As you-
about the syringe? Does it work?
But how many can you get in your house?
Oh, that's one. That's true.
That is it.
Yeah.
How many syringes can you get in your house? So normally they buy about 5 and they are using it for more than 3 months, and it will be very infectious to you.
All right, so we have a message from Daniel from Kaswa. I want to know how long babies should be breastfed and at what point should breastfeeding cease?
Okay, so exclusive breastfeeding is for the first 6 months of the baby's life. and then after that you add other foods. So we recommend 2 years. But yes, 2 years.
2 years is like when the baby is walking.
Yes.
Hey, Jesus.
2 years is the recommended duration
Wow.
for complete
That's
breastfeeding.
a talking baby.
Yes.
Mommy.
That's when they take the breast milk and
I
they
want
add
to
bread.
suck your breast.
They add bread or biscuits and they suck the breast milk on.
Wow.
But currently, with working mothers and all the situation that we find our mothers in, if you can do up to 1.5 years,
I did a
that's
year,
beautiful.
and it was a struggle trying to stop him. Now let's talk about, okay, trying to stop them from sucking the breast. It's called winning, right?
Weaning.
Yeah. So now, what's the best way to win a child? Because it was a struggle. The cries, oh, give him that, give him this, oh, don't do, and like, I was so emotional. So what's the best way to win a child?
Okay, so when it comes to weaning after the 6 months of exclusive breastfeeding, you start gradually. You start introducing baby to the milk, like other milks, other foods like the weaning mix, the porridges. Every baby is different, and one baby may like one thing and another baby may like another thing.
Yeah.
Like recently, one of my clients started a baby on Tom Brown. The baby wouldn't have any of it. The baby was fussy all day, crying. But the next day, we tried rice with egg yolk with some apple blend.
Yeah.
And you should see this baby licking the plate. So you
it's
have
about
to try
finding out,
different things until you're able to tell what your baby likes. And then you gradually build up on the nutrition. You build up on the solid foods, the everyday foods that you eat. As you eat, you introduce your baby to them. You just have to be careful with the spices and other things that we add. So you do baby's meals to be a little more bland. You don't add all of those spices in. But it's a gradual process.
Right.
And stopping breastfeeding entirely, those ones, there's no hard and fast rule.
Right.
For most children, as they start getting used to other foods, that when they eat, they get more satisfied, they will naturally start tapering it off gradually.
All right.
But some of them too, parents have to apply all sorts of things to the breast to stop them.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Right, so you just have to start early. So let's assume you want to stop breastfeeding in December. You don't start in November.
Yeah.
You can start in June,
Oh,
trying
okay.
the baby.
Yeah, to start adding things.
bit by bit. And by the time it will get to December, these babies won't even mind you when the baby sees the breast. But most of the time,
I knew this.
Most of the time, we wait till the time that we say, oh, it's enough.
Right.
Baby should stop today, and we expect the baby to stop.
Right. Okay, so what's the Bank Hospital doing when it comes to breastfeeding?
Yes, so at the Bank Hospital, we are a very baby-friendly facility. And when we say baby-friendly, we mean we provide all the support systems that a woman needs to have the right mental space, to have everybody on board to get this woman to be able to breastfeed.
Right.
We have our midwives around 24/7, round the clock. We are able to start skin to skin right after delivery, even with cesarean sections, just to be able to promote breastfeeding for our newborn.
Right. And what's the delivery package like?
Yes, at the Bank Hospital, we have very special packages for right from when a woman is pregnant through to 6 weeks of postpartum.
Yeah.
Yes, so we have packages that cover consultations, laboratory services, the ultrasounds that the woman needs to get. We even include free virtual pregnancy school sessions that our clients really benefit from the comfort of their homes at very competitive prices.
Right.
So you should check us out.
Right, and we actually have a delivery package right now that is going for, that has a 15% discount. So valid from April to December 2024, where you get to have an obstetrician review with Dr. Adolfo and pediatrician review, accommodation in maternity ward, nursing care, normal and cesarean procedure, and also a maternity excellence delivery care, package, antenatal care from start to finish for normal or cesarean delivery with flexible payment plans. So go out there and go check them out. It's from April to December 2024. I want to say a very big thank you to each and every one of you that, joined us on this. And thank you for sending in your questions and concerns. And yes, I can see that there are so many questions coming in, but I'm sorry, this segment has to end. And next time we'll definitely have an extensive talk about this. Obviously, it's the whole month. A very big thank you to you, Ines Agbenu, who's the maternity unit manager at the Bank Hospital, and Sheila Decker, who's a senior registered midwife at the Bank Hospital, and my baby, Mary. Thank you for joining us on the set. It's been amazing having you too, and, you know, teaching us how to. In fact, I'm jealous that I didn't know all this. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you have enjoyed this conversation.